I think it still relates to obeying and submitting. To some extent, respect comes with obedience and submitting oneself.
Okay, you are saying it's not possible to obey and submit to somebody you don't respect.
Especially because submission comes from the heart. Genuinely, if you respect someone, you expect that you would actually submit.
Okay? Respect is about honoring the position that these people have. And respect, sometimes you have heard people say, especially in the workplace, I respect your position and not you. I heard someone say this to somebody. And actually, generally in life, we are told, respect the presidency. Respect the man who holds the presidency, but respect the office. Now, so it is possible to have a situation whereby you do respect somebody, not because brothers, those who labor among you. And the context here, therefore, will suggest to you that those who labor among you, he is talking about the ministers. And also, the context here is he's talking about the day of wrath, so to speak. And he's admonishing that we should respect those who are laboring. In other words, those who are working in the aspect of laboring in the ministry. We don't have the time for me to show you that that is what he's talking about. But he's therefore saying that those who labor in this way, therefore, deserve respect by the basic thing of their position. And secondly, I will rush on to show you the second, is to esteem them. In other words, you know, you may choose to obey somebody, you may choose to submit, you may choose to show them respect, but esteem them. In other words, this is how you hold them in your heart, in your mind, when they are present with you and when they are absent from you. In other words, elders must be held in this veneration, which makes you mark them out even when they are not there, which makes you think about honoring them even when they are not present with you all the while. And that is these two aspects. Let me lead you to 1 Timothy chapter 5, so that I can leave some questions for general interaction and any questions that you might have. A very interesting passage, verse 17 and 18. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17 and 18. Granted that this text I'm going to read marks out the difference in the eldership, but there is the aspect of your duty to them. It says this, 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17, let the elders who rule well be considered worthy of double honor, excuse me, especially those who labor in preaching and teaching. For the scripture says, you shall not muzzle an ox when it treads out the grain, and the laborer deserves to remunerate those who labor in word and doctrine, especially in preaching and teaching, the pastors, that you pay them very well. Not just pay them, but in your congregation, your pastor must not be the poverty-stricken individual. but he must be paid well, generally well, and on average, he fits into the congregation and fits very well. Not where you're all driving very well. Not where you're all driving and the pastor comes on a bicycle. And then you even say, yeah, after all, you're not working. He is working a job that indeed far outweighs what you are doing. His job has eternal consequences upon individuals. So the principle here is that the elders must be supported, more so the pastor. And this is the distinguishing mark among them, but more so the pastor. 1 Timothy 5, verse 19 and 20 says, do not admit a charge against an elder except on the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses. As for those who persist in sin, rebuke them in the presence of all, so that the rest may